Hello everybody, welcome back. First things first, I want to just say, wow. Thank to everybody who came out and watched my first video that I uploaded on this channel. And even more, thank everybody who subscribed. I did not expect to get that many subscribers. And let me be honest, 4 subscribers is not a huge amount of subscribers. No, not by any stretch of the imagination. But the fact that you guys actually subscribed, or rather I got at least 4, which I didn't expect to get on my first video, I find it completely amazing and incredible. And I want to thank everybody who did that. But, you know what, I have some more things I want to talk about. Mainly things that you guys would want to subscribe to, so let's get right on to that. I wanted in this video talk about the alternate ending, the planned ending, the possible ending for the Dark of the Moon movie. The ending we never got. Actually, you can even say it's the ending to all of the Bayverse, which is really cool to think about, but I think I'm gonna have to give just a little bit more explanation on what I'm saying here. Some of you may know what I'm talking about, but my hope actually is that most of you guys don't. So you actually find this video amazing, like, comment, and subscribe, which I suggest that you do. So, the Bayverse, or rather Michael Bay, from what we understand, wanted to end the Bayverse after Dark of the Moon, or actually at Dark of the Moon. That was supposed to be the end. And now, whether this thing I'm about to talk about in today's video is before or after they decided that they want to make more movies and continue the universe, I don't really know. But the universe was planned to end here, and that gives you a little bit of context in which why what I'm about to say to you actually makes a little bit of sense. So this thing I'm about to talk about actually comes from the tie-in comic books to the Bayverse in the movies. Now, a little thing about these comic books is that they're not exactly canon. They are canon in some aspects, but in some aspects are obviously different from what we get in the movie, kind of de-canonizing them. Now, the reason I say this is that we believe, or rather I believe strongly, that the comic books, when they were writing the comic books, a lot of the comic books are based off of early designs or script ideas for the Bay movies. Hence why they're different in some aspects, and they are the same in others. Some of the comics straight up are made up, or maybe not made up, but they're not based off of the movie, let's put it that way. But the comics that are, usually they were working with an earlier script, meaning the things that they show in there might obviously match up with the movie, and some things won't. I don't know whether they decided to keep it like this, wanted to keep it like this, or what goes on here, but I believe that, well, I like it better this way. It gives you a little bit more content than just reading the comic book of a comic book version of the movie you probably already watched. But that's besides the point. The point is that in a lot of cases, the comic books have rather planned, designed ideas and alternate ending. In my last video yesterday, I mentioned how in the comic books, Dino died at the hands of Soundwave. He actually got absolutely decapitated. But obviously in the movie, he lived. Actually, he's supposedly alive even at the end of the last night. Whether he could be dead or not, that's not really confirmed. But from the last thing we heard, he was alive. Let's put it that way. So, what am I talking about in today's video? Okay, so I already told you that the comic books are not only working with, or we can definitely assume that they're working with an earlier draft of the movies when they're writing these and planning them out. Whether that's left that way on purpose or not, that's besides the point. Most likely, maybe they didn't have any time to change it by the time they figured out that the movie might have had something very different from what they were writing in the comic book. But the point we're trying to make here is that usually that you can assume that a comic book is working with an earlier draft of certain movies when they are obviously just displaying the same scenes that we see in the movie, not their own made-up scenes. I also told you how the Bayverse was planned to end with the Michael Bay last movie that he had envisioned, Dark of the Moon. The Dark of the Moon was supposed to end the Bayverse. So what I want to talk about in this video, in using these two things that I just mentioned as context of an alternate ending of the Bayverse. really an alternate ending of the Bayverse, but rather an alternate ending of Darker Than Moon, when now that we have different movies after it. It's a bit weird what I'm trying to say here, but I think you all can understand. So in the comic book, in one of the comic books, we actually see something different happening. Instead of what we got in the movie, in which Optimus kills Megatron, then proceeds to kill Sentinel Prime, becoming victorious, and then after that the events of Age of Extinction play out. In the comic book, Megatron and Optimus team up to defeat Sentinel. Now this is very different from what we got in the movie, obviously, and it's just kind of cool when you really think about it, because in this alternate universe, Optimus and Megatron team up, sort of ending that rivalry, because this is actually, being the fact that it's an early draft, it was even before they decided to make any more movies. That's definitely for sure before that point. So it actually makes kind of sense how they're tying up Megatron and Optimus as rivals. Although in the Dark of the Moon ending, we actually still saw that sort of thing tie up because Megatron was dead. So that still tied up the thing. That's not what I'm trying to say here, but I'm trying to say it's like kind of an alternate way of doing it. And then what happens after that is Megatron presents Optimus with a proposal that Optimus, they're going to call a truce between the Decepticons and the Autobots, and the Decepticons are going to go off to Cybertron, sort of start putting the civilization back together, and then Optimus and the rest of the Autobots really are going to stay on Earth and do whatever they want, look after the planet. That's the way I understand what was going down here. And that is actually kind of cool. Now, we don't know if Optimus we don't have any way to know if Optimus said straight up yes, but you can assume that Optimus did agree with this because of what we see in the comic book. So, the Autobots could stay on Earth, the Decepticons leave the planet, and now they're on good terms with the Autobots. That doesn't mean they're friends, really. Obviously, in the same sort of storyline, you can assume that Soundwave killed Dino in this same battle. So, it's not to say that the Autobots and the Decepticons are all of a sudden best friends. They just say that they're on a truce now, and they're really just kind of tying up the idea in this battle. They're ending the war, in a way, in this comic book here. Now, I just thought it was kind of a cool thing to do, and I wanted to talk about it in this video. Now, there's not much really to say else about it other than what I've already said. It's a cool thing, and I find it maybe even cooler than what we got in the movie. I don't really like how, in the movies particularly, and some other shows, how the only resolution we ever get is bad guy dies, Autobot hero kills him. Or even that, what we see a lot of times, and sometimes, that bad guy turns good, end of story, and he tries to become friends with the main characters. This isn't even that. This is a Megatron saying, well, I don't really want to fight, but that doesn't mean, the way we understand it, what we got from that, is that doesn't mean they're friends. It really just means that the war is over, and you can stop, and you can call a truce to any war, any battle, and that doesn't mean you're best friends all of a sudden. You just finished killing each other's friends in a way. So, it's not to say that Megatron's just good, he wants forgiveness, he wants to join the Autobots, but it's also not to say that the only way to end anything is just to kill your opponent, and I really find that cool. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you like the ending we got in the movie where Megatron dies, or rather, where the universe continues, or do you like how Darker Than Moon kind of ended? This comic idea kind of ended the universe and left things actually more open than the movies did for maybe future stuff. It's a really interesting thing to think about. I like the comic book ending better personally, but let me know in the comment section below what you guys liked. Also, while you're going down to tell me what you guys thought, give me other discussion ideas and videos I should do in the future. Drop the video a like and subscribe. Ring the notification bell even. Share it with your friends. Just because you're already doing all this, you might as well add one more thing, just letting me know that you were a fan of the content. Share with your friends, or share with anybody you think that would enjoy this sort of discussion, or rather, they just didn't know that this is what could have happened, or rather, they didn't know about this entire thing, and now they do. Share it with your friends. Hate to take too long, but I hope I see you guys next time.